Have you ever found yourself wishing you just had 2 more hours during the day? You just know if you had 2 more hours in the day, you could get everything you need to get done. Well, that's not going to happen. So today I'm going to share with you how you can literally add or create a greater sense of time in your day. My name is Felicia Searcy, and it is my joy to be your partner in believing. Your dream is my passion. And today I want to help you create a rhythm, a life-giving schedule that when you look at what is coming up with your day, you say, oh my gosh, I love that. If you like what you're hearing, hit the like button, the share, comment. And if you want more of this, I have a free gift. I have a masterclass, 3 keys to creating your ultimate life now, coming up. Whether you're watching it now or the replay, if you want that, hey, Joanne, hey, Charmaine, yes, a greater sense of time, because what you're really after is a greater sense of ease. All right, so if you want more information and you want to go deeper into this, put the word time and you will get information about a free training that I've got coming up where I will walk you through a proven spiritual success formula that will allow you to create a much greater degree of ease in your life. So we've all experienced it. Many of you are probably experiencing it right now, where you look at your to-do list and you look at your calendar and you say, oh my God, I don't know how in the world I'm going to get it all done. You may even find yourself when your eyes open in the morning, rather than saying, oh my gosh, I get to live this day. It's like, oh my gosh, how in the world am I going to get it all done? That there's a sense of anxiety that gets kicked off just by the simple act of opening your eyes in the morning. And by the end of the day, you're exhausted because you've just been frantically running, trying to keep up with everything that you need to get done. You may be staying up late, getting up early, and still not ticking off everything on that to-do list. What do? Well, here are 3 tips to help you create a more expansive relationship with time, because that's really what we're talking about. It's about really allowing yourself to create a much greater degree of ease in your life and trusting that. So here are 3 tips. Number 1, we have to literally train ourselves to allow a greater degree of freedom and ease in our system. Right now, every single one of us has a habit around how much struggle we have in our lives and how much freedom you allow yourself to experience. Your biology is literally wired for whatever and or struggle you create and experience in your life right now. Now, there's no judgment around this. We've all developed habits that at one point in our lives served us well. And as you are a growing, expanding being, life is always calling you into a richer, freer, fuller expression of yourself. And that's where the signals of discontent start getting activated. It's because there is that in you that's wanting you to experience more. There is this life force streaming through you, inviting you into a much greater experience of freedom, of love, abundance, fulfillment, and joy. But we have to like train ourselves. It's just like you go work out. And to train your muscles, we have to literally train our system to allow a greater degree of ease to flow, to allow ourselves to experience a greater degree of freedom in our lives. We don't trust it. Right now, whatever the current pattern is, even though conceptually, logically, intellectually, you want something different, we don't trust something different. You know, I can see examples of this in my own life that, you know, to quote, back away, just stirred up all kind of meaning around that. And you don't have to go digging for what the beliefs are that created the pattern in the first place. The minute you start entertaining something more expansively, everything unlike what you're creating and who you're becoming will let itself know. Most people do is believe those voices. They believe that feeling of anxiety And they say, but I can't do it this way. It won't happen. It won't get done. So the first step is to realize that you literally, number one, so there's like several subsections in this. Number one, for more ease in your life, to understand that it's not your desire, that is truly life wanting something more expansive by means of you. And number two, the very fact you are thinking it up says that there is a way for you to create it. And Joanne, I so honor you for being here, because the more aware you become of what is really the dynamic that's going on, the more you're literally able to collapse time and create a greater degree of ease in your life. Now, there's tons of information out there about how to manage time. And, I'll never forget Bob Proctor sharing once when I was studying with him that we cannot manage time. What we manage are activities. So first step is realizing that you have to, the first step is to begin to train yourself to be comfortable, to be at ease, with greater ease. And I know it may sound like a bit of an oxymoron, but when things start going easy, it's like it kicks off this alarm that says, oh my God, we stir things up. Because it's almost like if we don't have that adrenaline rushing through our bodies, there's a part, in myself included, I've really had to stare this one down. It's like we believe that you're going to get lazy and not get everything done. So that myth has just got to be pushed aside, and know that the life force that woke you up this morning and your desire for ease is life itself knocking at the door of your heart, inviting you into a much greater experience and possibility for you. So number one, you learn how to accommodate, train your system for a greater degree of ease. Number two, you get really clear around what's yours to do and what's not yours to do. What's fascinating about our schedules, here's the thing about your calendar, your schedule. Your schedule is the energetic blueprint of your life. Thank you, Connie. I'm glad this is serving. Your calendar is your energetic blueprint of your life. And I'm going to talk more about that in tip number 3. If you were to write down everything that you're doing and really take a hard, cold look at it, how much of it is really yours to do and how much of it is not yours to do? It is stunning when we look at our calendar, when we look at our schedule, how many activities get on that to-do list, which translates into your daily routine. It translates into your schedule, that we do out of obligation, we do out of a sense of responsibility, we do because we think we don't want to disappoint other people, or, and this was a big one, well, all of those were big ones for me. And then one of the things that those of you who are clients, Becky, you know this, one of the things that I walk you through first and foremost is creating a vision of a life that absolutely brings you alive. Why this is so important is because that vision then informs your schedule. It informs your calendar. Now, that's easy to say. It's easy for the most part conceptually to understand, but those habits for the activities that we choose, and know that it's always a choice. We have 100% choice about what we do with our time, about what we, where we invest our time. That when you understand the genesis of your vision, which is the stream of life flowing through you, then you understand that as you say yes to the activities that are affiliated or aligned with your vision, it is the highest form of love that you can bring to the people around you and literally to the body of humanity. Oftentimes, and I know with the people that I have the honor of working with, it is such a brilliant heart-centered group of people who care deeply about the other people in their lives, the people that they work with, their clientele, whoever it is. And oftentimes we have a misguided idea about what's loving and of service. If there's it not this okay, let me say this piece and then I'll get to the other piece. When you understand that as you live into your vision, it is the highest form of service, then you become willing to really evaluate those different activities. When you physically go to put something on your calendar or your to-do list, and it involves an action for somebody else, pay attention to the energy in your body. Your body will never lie to you. Your life force will never lie to you. And if there's any resistance, any hesitation, I don't know that I really want to do this, and then immediately you hear yourself going to, but yeah, they really need me to. They're never going to be able to do it on their own. Who do I think for me not to do this? In that moment, you are actually a disservice, because that life force is an indicator that this is not yours to do, which means there's either something for the person that you're going to do it for them to know and to learn, or there's somebody else for it to do. Now, this is a lot easier said than done, because that habit that created that pattern, that feeling that created that pattern in the first place, it gets really loud. One of the things that I talk about repeatedly, whether you're a client where we work directly or you're coming to these broadcasts, I continually talk about how as you have a vision and you move toward your vision, there is this gravitational pull back to the familiar to keep you right where you are. And it is so convincing around why you should keep things along the track. And if you just keep going back, knowing that deep down, and again, I can look at this list, Connie and Joanne and Severina and Charmaine and Becky, as those of you watching it live, or if you're watching the replay, I'm going to make an assumption, because I know the people that I attract. Your deepest desire, your deepest intention is to serve. It's to really a loving, beneficial presence on the planet. And oftentimes this will be framed in a place, but I just have to be selfish and take care of myself. That's one way of framing it. Another way of really understanding it, that's true, that's real and true, is that if we're somebody or feeling like we're obligated, or if I don't do it, it's not going to get done, we are actually doing other people a disservice. Now, for some of you, that may be a complete mind shift, but the more you work with it and the more you understand the power and the origin of your vision, and you allow it to then direct the activities on your calendar. And when I work with people, it's four areas: your health, your relationships, your work in the world, through your vocation, and your freedom on your calendar and in your checkbook. So this doesn't mean that we ignore our relationships. You get really clear around what are the most loving acts that are mine to do and what are not mine to do. I have this analogy of a hula hoop. If y'all remember a hula hoop, where you stand in the middle of the hula hoop, and there's only so much room in that hula hoop. And every time you take on a task or an activity, it goes in your hula hoop, which means there's not room for something else. So is your hula hoop filled with activities that are life-giving and empowering? Is your schedule filled with activities that are life-giving and empowering? And if the answer is no, then somewhere you are doing somebody a disservice. So if you agree with this, or if you want to agree with this, or if it's hitting any buttons, just put the word amen in the comment section. And if you want to receive my free gift, where I'll be walking through the proven spiritual success formula on how to create a life that you love. Put the word time in the comment section as well. And of course, share this and comment and like it. So if you know of anybody else who would be served by this information, absolutely share this with them. All right, so number one, you are literally accommodating a greater degree of ease through your system. You're training yourself to trust ease. Number two, you're getting really clear around what's yours and what's not yours to do. This also includes those activities that you say, but I'm the only one that can do this. If I don't do it, it's just not going to get done right. This one has been a biggie for me recently, where, I hired somebody and I really had to work with allowing a greater degree of ease into my system and to learn how to turn more things over to somebody else, my assistant here, Severina. In fact, I just got back from a 2.5 week trip to Egypt, where effectively I was completely unplugged. I mean, every once in a while I'd have like a roaming, a random Wi-Fi signal or a phone signal where I could do like a quick post or something. But in terms of really keeping up with things, I didn't have the bandwidth. And I can remember there were a couple times when that little anxiety, that habit of anxiety wanted to pop up. And I had to work with my nervous system to realize that I have grown into the woman who is now attracting a remarkable team around me. And let's say it didn't go well. Back this summer, I was at a conference and I had just hired somebody. And 2 days into this conference where I was speaking, she said she got a different job offer. And by the way, I'm leaving as of 5 o'clock today. To learn to trust that there really is something so much more powerful at work than just us. And that even if the worst comes true, there's something bigger at work, that it won't annihilate you. So a key piece of allowing a greater degree of ease, and by the way, that was not Severina. A key piece of ease is learning how to trust the support around you and learning how to attract support that you can relax and build a faith in that support. Again, the habit of struggle determines who we have in our lives, how much demand is placed on us, and do we have people that we can trust, of course with training, to turn things over to. So that's all under number two. What's in your hula hoop? What's yours and what's not? Okay, so if you're liking what you're hearing, love this, in the comment section, like it, comment, share it. And again, if you can think of anybody who would be served by this, please be sure to share it with them. All right, so third tip, number 3. What do you do to create a greater, a deeper relationship with time? Because again, that's really what we're talking about, is building a relationship with time. What do you do to build a deeper relationship with time? You take an opportunity to build out a dream calendar. On the back of the door that I have here in my office, I'm here back in my office after my wonderful 2.5 week trip to Egypt. I have laid out on my calendar a dream schedule, a dream calendar. Now, I didn't start out there. In fact, my mentor, Mary Morrissey, who I've worked with for the last 7.5 years, this has been an ongoing challenge, because there's been up until recently, there was a part of me that just resisted building out this dream calendar. There was a part of me that couldn't believe it. I had deep embedded beliefs about how hard you have to work in order to be successful, what you have to do in order to truly earn success. And then again, the whole piece around trusting that there are people in my world that have my back, and that what it takes to get from A to B. That my experience was, it was toilsome and hard work and lots of effort. And I just did not have the awareness to be able to explore other possibilities. You know what's fascinating? Think about this. And don't let this just Teflon off. Don't let this just slide off. And as I share this example with you, you know, tomorrow I'm flying to Austin for a summit. It's on my calendar. You know, I knew I would be back on Saturday after being gone for 2.5 weeks. I'm getting on another airplane tomorrow. It was on my calendar. I felt into it. I said, do I love this? And I said, I do. I love the idea of being there. And so trusting that all the other pieces are being taken care of, and then I'm being shown how to take care of them in an efficient, effective way. Now, what's important about this is that as I work with ease, I'm creating a completely different magnetic field around me. And it also gives us access to completely different ideas, creativity, and to be able to see opportunities that have always been there, but we can't see them when we're coming from the place of it's hard. And there's that habit around hard. So when you think about this, think about all the things that we have in place today that say 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, took so much longer to complete. So for example, I'm getting on an airplane to fly to Austin tomorrow. It's a 2.5-hour flight. If I wanted to get from, let's say even just 150 years ago, if I wanted to get from LA to Austin, I would have either had to rode a horse, taken a buggy, taken a train, or walked. And it would have taken days. Here's the piece. This is really important for you as you apply it into your personal life. Every moment that I would have spent in that mode of transportation, the means to get on an airplane was there. We just hadn't thought from that state of awareness yet in order to bring that idea out into the facts of our lives. Now, it's easy to dismiss that because it seems so big and global and universal. But the same concept applies to you, that when you develop this awareness of ease and you train yourself to accommodate a much greater degree of freedom, you actually cause yourself to have access to a completely different level of creativity and the ability to entertain ideas that wouldn't even land before, that literally then have the ability to collapse the amount of time it takes to complete different activities. What if, you know, whatever the hardest thing that you're thinking about right now that you know is on your to-do list, what if that hardest thing could actually be easy? Now, I get it that you may not know what that looks like right now or how to do that. But the power that's dreaming it up in the first place knows how to do it. And the way to really begin to access that power is have your vision and then lay your vision out on your calendar. Create that dream calendar. Create that dream schedule. Because what it will cause you to do as you begin to work with it on a daily basis is allow you to live into that and ask yourself, what if I really could do this? What if this really were possible? And you begin to literally zip yourself into the skin of the man or the woman that created that kind of rhythm in their life. And now you have access to the awarenesses, the ideas, the creativity that will cause you to create that result. And when you physically see it on your calendar, it's another way of working with your energy of training yourself for a much greater degree of ease, freedom, fulfillment, and joy in your life. All right, so if you want greater ease. Put the word ease in the comment section. And if you're willing to create your dream calendar, put the word calendar in the comment section. That's my challenge to you, is to take a moment and just lay it out and lean into those voices that say, but I'll never be able to do this. I'll never be able to get it all done. Because again, the power that's thinking it up, that power is so much greater than your human will and your human intellect alone. This is what it is to tap into the brilliance, the infinite, eternal intelligence of this universe that woke you up this morning. Okay, so if you're liking what you're hearing, hit the comment, love it, share this, like and hearts and all that good stuff. And if you want to get more information about how to live your dream life, I've got a masterclass training coming up. Put the word time in the comment section and we will make sure that you get that information. All right, so let's summarize. The problem, you wake up in the morning and you just feel so overwhelmed with what it feels like, everything that you got to do. It's like you just can't, you have to even just catch your breath to get out of bed. You're frantically working through the day, trying to get everything caught up, and you fall into bed exhausted, fall in late, wake up early with this, never going to make a dent in it. What do? Number one, you understand that there is a level of habit around the way we struggle with time. And to begin the process to really build a new habit of ease and to build trust in that ease. Number two, get really clear around what's yours and what's not yours to do. Whether it's getting clear around what true service is to somebody else, or really allowing yourself to be supported, being the man or the woman that attracts people into your life where you can relax and know that the universe has got your back in the form of these people. And number three, literally lay your dream calendar out, knowing that as you live into it, you are literally allowing yourself to think differently, see different opportunities, and to plug into something so much more expansive, creative, and brilliant than what you've been able to do at your current level of thinking. Okay, again, if this has served you, share, comment, whether you're listening to this, watching this live or watching the replay. And I'm going to be going live again next week. I'm back in the country. So if you want to know when I'm going live, just watch my personal page, and all of you are on my list, so you'll see when I'm going live again. And come to my masterclass where I'm really going to go deep into the formula of how to create a life that you love, because you deserve it. My name is Felicia Searcy. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. Your dream is my passion. God bless everybody. Mwah.